Okay. Hey Mike, do you know what I'm missing?
Tell me, Fabian, what are you missing?
Interesting news.
What kind of news?
You know, if you open up a newspaper or look online, you find news about war, politics, or whatever Madonna is wearing.
What is Madonna wearing?
Who cares? Probably something inappropriate.
You know, I'd really like to play a game based on Madonna.
A game based on Madonna. That could work. Maybe the name sells. But you're saying something. News about board games. You know, if you look online, what can you find?
Not very much, now that you mention it. You know, every time I look online, I find reviews and I find those playthroughs, but they don't really show you what is coming. They just show you what is, and it's not very helpful. Especially when I buy a board game, I didn't ever get hyped for it. It never turns out the way it is in those reviews.
Yeah, or you have those top 5 best board games of 2023. That never is correct for me.
No, never really suits anything. Don't get enough details there.
Yeah. So that's what we are going to do here for you. We're gonna go and travel around all the corners of the internet. We are going to interview designers, publishers, to get the news out there for you guys. What are we gonna show?
It'd be interesting if we could get the insides of the designers and what they're planning and exactly what they're doing currently.
Yeah, maybe some board game gossip, like old-fashioned gossiping.
Oh, that'd be very interesting.
And when some games will be coming out, what development state they are, but also in the far future, what are they working on? So, what is gonna be our first topic?
Games?
Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, why not? Tell me all about it.
Do you saw the spoilers of the new set?
I have not.
Now, you know the world of Tolkien, right? Lord
Oh,
of the Rings?
yes. The one ring to rule them all. My
Yes.
precious.
Now, my precious will get his own set in Magic the Gathering. So, the world of Tolkien gets a new code in Magic the Gathering. What will it do? What will it be? It will be a set like we used to know. You have new cards and you have existing cards that get a reprint. But now the reprints get completely coated, like shocked.
Dipped in Mordor, and then you get orcs.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Aragorn and Legolas.
All of them are coming. Gandalf, a lot of cool stuff, but also newer cards and older cards get a synergy. Like older cards get completely coated in Lord of the Rings style, like new art, new name, and then very funny in little text. This card is this. It does the same, but it's very cool done. And also the alternative arts are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, for example, do you remember Sol Ring? Like 1 colorless mana, tap for 2.
Yes.
It will come back, but in different shapes. So you're gonna have one in style of the dwarves, one in style of the elves, and one in so on and so on. So there are gonna be 4 different ones, and they're gonna be collectible. So the rarity is gonna be quite high, but it's gonna be amazing to see.
Now tell me, we gonna get the rings?
Yes, we're gonna get the one ring that rules them all. There's also a complete synergy built around it. And that one ring gets, you have a regular card that's a rarity, you're gonna use it, but there's gonna be 1 out of 1 collectible. So, hard to find.
I wonder, how long in line will I have to wait for those boosters?
It's gonna be in collector boosters, so they're gonna come out same moment that they're gonna come with the rest of the set. But there's only 1, so it's gonna be damn hard to get one.
Not unless I get my own little right ways. Oh, I know my precious. If I get Gollum to find it out. I mean...
You want to use Gollum? It's Frodo that has a ring, if he doesn't destroy it.
He's just gonna put his invisible cloak and try and steal it.
It's Bilbo that steals.
What if he decides to go to Mordor with that card?
If someone destroys that card, it's gonna be an idiot.
I'm looking at you.
But yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and as what Magic the Gathering always does, lately they have from cool cards in different rarities, alternate art versions. And those alternate art versions, this time you have like 4 different cards, and if you connect them, you get like a scene out of Lord of the Rings. And they're like, art-wise, they're like similar, or the inspiration is took from like, you're old, right? Like me.
Yes, the grays in my hair show it. Yes.
Do you remember the 90s cartoon of Lord of the Rings?
Yes. Very true to the lore. Extremely well done for its time.
And Peter Jackson took also a lot of inspiration out of that cartoon. I think even the original cartoonists worked on the movie as like consultants.
Yeah, there's a documentary about it.
Like an entire box set of too many discs.
Yeah, I have them.
And yeah, it's gonna be amazing. So all exclusive art to this set. So there's no use of movie material or other material. It's all exclusively made, but very based on the cartoon in the 90s.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Definitely.
I'm not always fan of the art that they do with alternate, but I think with this they hole in one. No, so they did really a good job with that. So I'm looking forward to it. And
definitely.
We're gonna follow up the next spoilers for sure, and probably with the release and pre-release
we'll be opening them here.
We will be opening them here. Yes, of course, definitely. That's the only moment I open up boosters.
And it's a big moment for us, Lord of the Rings.
So that's our first topic.
Yeah, MTG, yeah.
Let's talk about our second topic, because it's actually quite related, no?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, you're a Star Wars fan, right?
Big Star Wars fan.
And we play a lot of Star Wars board games, right?
We play quite a bit.
Wait. Let's re-paraphrase. I kick his ass a lot in Star Wars board games.
There will be one day where I win.
We play X-Wing, we play Rebellion, we play Star Wars Legion.
Yes.
And
that one's good. Very good.
Oh, it's good. Nice miniatures. We are a fan of miniatures. Miniatures and cards.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, there is announced that Fantasy Flight is doing their own TCG in the near future. Next year, 2024, the first release will be. They will do 3 sets a year, and they didn't verify yet which, if they're gonna keep it movie per movie or they're gonna release in sets depending on specific events. But they said everything is open. So
tell me, the art style. I remember the old one after the Clone Wars. That was in the early 2000s, several decades ago. Not the Clone Wars. No, Phantom Menace. Okay, that's how old I am. Starting to forget things.
End 1999.
2000s. Yeah. So my question is about the art style. Are you going to lift it from the movies, or are they going to do something fresh?
So they're not going to copy Wizards of the Coast that did with movie images. I can remember Jar Jar in there.
I had a few Jar Jars.
Yeah, and you had the race of Jar Jar that was shown there, and the pod races, and this.
The pod races were really cool.
There were cool mechanics, but no, they're gonna work completely with new artwork that will depict. So, as in style, I guess from Star Wars Rebels, Rebellion, Star Wars Legion, probably in that art style. And yeah, I'm very curious about how it's gonna work.
I can't wait. Star Wars needs a bit of a kick in the butt after the first few movies. The series really kicked them in the right direction. The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. If you're also interested, there's the Kenobi series, and now a new season of Mandalorian's out, so check those out. But yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to get my hands on some of those cards.
I have only one question.
Yeah.
Is Fantasy Flight the best people to do it? because
Boy.
they don't have experience with TCGs. They have a lot of experience with Star Wars games and made amazing Star Wars games. Also, by the way, the Star Wars RPG is also from them.
Yeah, that one's
So they did a lot of good content, but if they have one product that looks TCG-like, they have a dice game that you collect the dice, and if we need to be honest, it flopped.
Look,
But
Fancy Flight, I love you guys, I really do, and I wish you all the luck with this one, especially because it's Star Wars and I really want to be collecting, but yeah, what you're saying, are they going to continue with the booster packs, following with Magic the Gathering and many other cards like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon? It's a tough market.
yeah,
really tough market.
it's true. But I think if you see the pie of trading card games, I think Star Wars can really do some damage in there. You saw them with Legion, like in the wargaming, it took a huge chunk of the pie, while before it was only Games Workshop that was taking pieces of that pie. And if you see, they had a similar game in a totally different style that flopped, but it was because it was Star Wars, it was a success. So because RuneScape doesn't exist anymore, and Star Wars Legion still does.
Yeah.
So we're
We'll
sure
see.
to follow it. And if you want to send us a demo, always.
Looking forward to it. So, Fabian, I was thinking, last week we were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and you had some hordes come out of the forest, and everyone else was just so concentrated on another place. And I was thinking, I heard something else about Dungeons and Dragons, but I just needed to ask you. They're planning to take out Vicious Mockery? What's going on?
Not entirely. So what you're talking about is D&D One, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
D&D One.
Okay. Now, it's not because D&D 1 exists, D&D 5e will disappear.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I still got my Vicious Mockery.
Yeah,
okay.
still your Vicious Mockery. And still, Vicious Mockery will be able in D&D 1 by specific bards.
Alright.
Okay, it's not going to be a main bard thing anymore, but some bard aspect will be able to still do that spell. Now, that's not the only difference between 5e and D&D 1. Did you read about it?
Yes.
Because the playtest is online since like 2 weeks.
Yes, with D&D Beyond, you can get the playtest via PDF, and you will see several little changes there. One of those I wanted to ask you about is weapon masteries. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, weapon masteries is actually a little bit of a tool to change the way you play. Like before, you were in simple weapons proficient, or you were in heavy weapons proficient, and you could do all the heavy weapons, okay, or all the simple weapons, or all the ranged weapons. But now they're gonna change that up a little bit by giving every weapon a mastery. So that means you need to be good at that. Now, it doesn't mean that if you, in the beginning of your journey, you choose a mastery, that you're stuck with that mastery. You can change that overnight with long rests, so you can be more adaptable. But still, you need some elements that you know before you can get some masteries. What means that you will be able to be adaptable, but not like what happens right now in 5e. You pick up a long sword and suddenly you're a master with a long sword, you know?
Yeah. Again, that's another thing I like. But here, you get more depth. So definitely, there's another thing I wanted to ask you about. You will have skills, but with a long rest, you will be able to do certain things with these skills. Could you explain exactly what's going on there?
So, what they mean is, with a long rest, like for example, some sorcery classes have this already now. So the sorcery classes can change some spells they've chosen before, especially the ones that don't have their entire list to change every day. Now with fighter classes and with like weapons, they're gonna do the same. So you have a mastery. For some weapons, you need a specific mastery. Now, from the moment that you have a different weapon, you will be able to change that mastery. Now, of course, if you had a very dexterity direction, don't understand that you will not be able to change straight away into a heavy tank with a mace in his hands. You know, it's still realistic, but it gives the option to gain more melee-like. Also, some sorcerer classes can now also gonna start be able to wear armor, because some, like a cleric, had that already. But a warlock, there were a lot of melee builds with a warlock. They can also now wear armor. So every player, every character style has some adjustments, some more as others. Like, for example, the warlock had a lot of changes in 5e during the years, and because if you check the play test manual, you see what is different. And like with other classes, they're like 2-3 points. With warlocks, it was like giants.
I was literally going through it, and the first thing that I noticed is there's a lot about warlocks. One of my least favorite classes, due to that being very limiting. Here, they get a lot more. Hex has been buffed, so you're looking at different uses for spells, and that's another thing I want to ask you about, is the spells themselves now become a little more variable than they were before.
Yeah.
And subclasses also become with characters.
I don't think they're specifically more variable. I think they're just highlighting stuff you could already do in 5e. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, every wizard could do a spell with, like, for example, the ritual slot without having it prepared. Only it took more time. And a lot of wizards forget that. Like, they forget that they actually have... they have like a limited amount of spells that they can prepare and do, like shoot out their fingers like that. And secondly, they will get, and I think those things are just more highlighted. Now, I think that's my opinion, that D&D 1 will be more adjustable for a player, for player styles, for ways to play it, while D&D 5e is more story-based.
And what can you tell me about level 20s and peak levels? So
they did something extra with indeed level 20s, because they noticed that on the long term, a lot of people managed to get a character 20 and don't want to say goodbye to it. Mm-hmm. I always get killed before level 20, but
there is a moment when you can keep a level 20.
Yeah, there are people that manage that, and I have respect for those people. And now they have more synergy with that, because it's a little bit in co-op with the DM. DM decides, but there are gonna be extra feats for after level 20, which means if you keep playing, then the DM can still say, hey, you guys, you had a new milestone, choose a feat out of those special feats. So it's a nice extra
nice
component.
Bonus.
Yeah.
Nice bonus for something to keep you playing with the same
character.
character.
Sometimes I ask myself, why still keep it on level 20?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the DM could basically do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but I mean, why...
They could give a rule set just to allow for versatility.
But why not change the level structure of D&D?
That's a good question. I mean, now they have D&D 1. Is this going to be a living rule book? Will we see something like that in the future?
Like, for example, I'm not thinking top of my head, but you had World of Warcraft. I'm not the video gamer, you are.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
At some... World of Warcraft had, like, long time, like, the max of 50, level 50.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And maybe
and
before,
they raised it.
And now they raised it to 100 or 110 even?
110. 110 now. But with D&D 1, what I noticed is it's more Diablo-esque, because Paragon points literally equate to D&D 1's plus 20 level feats. So feats versus Paragon points, allowing you to do a little more. And the weapon masteries and the long rest to, basically be able to restat your skills and restat everything that you're doing with your spells after a long rest. Kind of seems kind of D&D Diablo-esque in that regard for me. That sounds very interesting.
So I read now all the pieces that have been released for playtesting. So in the near future, I will do some playtesting around it, like a one shot or two shot campaign, little mini campaign to just feel the new characters.
I will definitely want to try Warlock this time. It seems like the way to go. And if you allow me, I will want a Trident. I saw the mastery on the Trident. Everything else, but that sounds cool.
They buffed the Trident.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The things.
So you want to be a warlock with a Trident?
Why not? Why not? It's evil.
And you're gonna be then that others like that water character. No, there is a race for water.
What's the
Namer?
Yeah, Namers.
Okay, but we're going off topic here. So yeah, we will keep you, of course, a lot posted about D&D, because D&D is something with my decades of experience that we're gonna keep following up.
Test it out here in shop. See how well we survive.
Yeah.
So
I only killed one party here.
They died by themselves. He didn't kill them. They just walked into it. It wasn't his fault.
They had options. But, okay.
Yeah, but anyway. Topic. Dear Vlad.
Yeah.
Dear Vlad. We love you, Vlad.
But. I'm gonna be a little bit critical here. It's news, okay? Codenames will be launching an app on mobile phones. There is already a computer version, online computer version, but they're gonna be launching an app for Codenames. Vlad.
What are you thinking?
Yes. I hate the trend of board games becoming video games.
I have Mansions of Madness, and it works.
No, I understand board games with an app, and possibility to an app. Like, for example, Czech Games, the company of Vlada, did this with Alchemist.
Yes.
And they were very, very high tech at that moment. I didn't think one or the first or seconds to do that. And maybe also the last. Because it was an amazing experience, but phones were not ready. And the phones were ready, but the batteries were not ready. But this is completely different. It's making an app or a video game out of a board game. It's like what Terraforming Mars announced, that they're gonna make a TV show about it.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay, I understand what a board game is, and it's played with real people. Video games, in a way, are a solo experience where you pretend to be playing with other people, and then if you really want to feel it, you install something like Discord, and then you talk to them, or maybe stream it, maybe look at them screaming at you. Very foul words.
But your other friends cannot give you a baby bottle.
No, they can't give you a baby bottle, and they can't throw cards at you, or you can't look at them in the eyes as you roll a dice and just smile. As it falls on the very thing that pushes them out.
Is that something I do?
City of the Gods.
Is that something I do?
It's something you do. Oh, were you expecting to build a pyramid? But it's a different experience, and if I feel like Vlad going with Codenames with an app, I know that he wants to go mainstream. I understand. Money's there, and it's on the mobile phone. But it's not a board game.
No.
It's board game news.
It's board game news. But I'm gonna ask Vlada, please make something again like Dungeon Pets and Dungeon Lords and Mage Knight. Please do!
We did play Dungeon Lords a few days ago.
Yes.
Amazing game, by the way. Amazing game.
We got our ass kicked by someone that didn't even defeat half of their heroes.
No. Just made sure to pay taxes.
Yeah. Pay your column. But okay, guys, that said,
yes,
we had a little part about Codenames.
So yeah, that's Codenames for us. Where do we waver from here? Where do we
So, Mike, did you ever Kickstarter the board game?
No, I heard Kickstarters are very popular, but I never got around to it. It never actually crossed my board.
Now, actually, Kickstarter is a very nice thing for new publishers, for new designers. What's not always the same thing. And I actually want to give a shout out, and it's news, and it's actually quite relevant because 2 days ago a new Kickstarter went live from Mooncrab Games.
Mooncrab? Oh, aren't those the guys behind Rebellion?
No, Fantasy Flights behind Rebellion, but some of the designers that worked on Rebellion, worked on Star Wars Assault, Imperial Assault, and much more. Even there are some guys from
The guys behind
Descent and
I
much
think
more.
I heard about them, yeah.
Too many games that they were listed.
What are they doing on Kickstarter now?
So they're creating they created a game, Leviathan, and why it's so impressive, it's not only because it's a new publicist. They were funded in 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
9 minutes. And
What's the game about?
so, like Leviathans is like in different lores, like monsters, big monsters that got corrupted. Some say they were sent from God, others say from the devil. Different lores have different origins. But in this case, they're going to have the opportunity to save Leviathans, give them new purpose. And in the game, there are 7 characters and 7 classes, a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons type. So they are trying to get the Leviathans back in their natural order, and every character and every class has a separate deck. And a player chooses both, and then they shuffle those 2 unique decks and create their own deck that they're going to use during the game. While they're doing that, they're going to use those cards to create action points. Those action points they're going to use to climb, slide, a little bit like Snakes and Ladders.
Okay, I know that game. My sister kicked my butt in that game, so yeah.
So even you can't win with that kind of game.
No, I can't. No, I can't. What? I mean, I like playing games, but it's not my fault. I really suck, I know, but still, I try.
He's a gracious loser. Everyone needs someone like that.
I try.
But so they're gonna use those points to slide and climb and nullify parts of the Leviathan. Now every round starts with a danger zone in the Leviathan, and that danger zone, if you're in that after the round ends, you will get damage. Oh, you try to avoid that, and in that way you're gonna create yourself the best opportunities. Now you don't have only those basic actions, you have also skill cards.
Okay.
I didn't see all the skill cards yet, but definitely for you guys to check out. We're going to keep an eye on it.
A lot of time.
So if you have Tabletop Simulator, the option to beta test it is still there. The Kickstarter is still live for more than 15 days. So you have, if you're following this on the day of launch, or you're a little bit behind what's possible, then you can still back it.
If you're watching this in the future and you missed it, don't worry. There are other moments that you'll be able to join in into other Kickstarters, so keep your eyes open.
Yes, and of course, if you missed the Kickstarter, there is always to go to your local board game store and try to find it out. They like that you come and visit. So yeah, that was our last topic, and it's also morning. We need to start working.
Yeah, it's morning.
We have our cup of coffee almost empty.
Almost empty.
But I wish you guys a good morning. I hope you liked our 20-ish minute video, and if you do, don't forget to leave a comment,
Leave a like,
or subscribe.
Let's get to work.
Yeah.